All right. Hey, whoever's made it in here, hopefully you can hear me. Thanks for making it. Tonight's journey. All right. Yeah. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. I think that's Kelly. Is that Kelly? Anyway. Uh, yeah. Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, it's Kelly. Sweet. Okay. Um, you can hear. Great. We've got a thunderstorm right now. In case there's extra noise going on, it just opened up right when I was getting started here. Um, Thanks for making it, Kelly and Mary. Oh, Mary, high level players, two ladies doing seriously, two of the few. Kudos to both of you, hard workers, working for God, doing the real stuff. Seriously, rare. Um, Okay, Exit the Matrix. Okay, we're gonna talk Exit the Matrix. And what I've been doing is kinda doing, kinda like the basics, the overview, everything, because that's the foundation of what we're doing. Now, any more complicated thoughts, questions, or whatever, I'm here to answer what's on your mind, so just interrupt. "Hey, what about this? What about that?" Anything off topic, anything like that, I'm here to help you. Okay. Especially you two in here. So really, anything. You're not interrupting my flow, nothing like that. Okay. So this eventually at some point will go live. Wow, let's rate it even more. It'll go live, and so I'm kind of talking to those folks as well. So just covering some of the basics. Okay. Exit the matrix. Okay. First thing that has to be done, because I'm like, what's my claim, right? I'm the first one to exit the matrix. And then why are you here, right? Like, it's like, yeah, I did it, but I'm here to help you. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like Neo didn't leave, He's like, well, he did it, then he had to come back in and help, and then, cycle like that. So, matrix. What does matrix mean? Anyone ever look it up? It means like womb. That's what it means. And so we're inside the matrix with different pieces to it, right? There's the physical, which relates to like what Mary Baba says, a gross world, and then there's the invisible, right? Can't see it, subtle. That would be in Mary Baba's language, and then there's the mental. He calls the mental planes too. So you have to understand all the methods of enslavement and how, uh, I mean, pretty perfect that they are. They're pretty. The methods of enslavement of us as humans are so. I don't know. Not that enslavement is great, but I just mean the it's all pervasive. It's not. There's not any part of existence that isn't this matrix enslaving us. You see what I'm saying? It's so the different pieces. It's the physical environment. Everything we're told about the physical environment doesn't match our reality. It's not true. So they have to figure out, oh, what is true? What is actually happening? You know what I'm saying? Then there's, you're like, wait a second. There's this whole seems to be power coming and things and everything seems to be coming from this invisible place that you know we can't seem to go to but then you're like, well, wait a minute, when you sleep, you're not really in your body, you're not experiencing this place, and so it's like, well, wait a minute, maybe you already do go over there, and then ultimately once you figure this all out and the truth is so on, it's you know, it, it's you have to process it mentally and then come up with a conclusion to how you're going to live your life. Like, how you gonna respond to this information, and how you gonna react given your individual circumstance that you find yourselves in. When you find this out, you're like, "Okay, what am I gonna do?" You know? So, knowing, uh, you know, from my position, it's like, okay, I see how everyone's a slave having broken it. So, me, my work is, okay, how can I do the most damage to the enslavement system that everyone finds themselves under with the with the fewest amount of actions. What is the most damage to, that programming infrastructure that has us, enslaved in every single level of what's the way to break that thing the fastest? What's the best sledgehammer to use to get the most out of it, you know? And so truth is what sets you free because once you begin to seek the truth and start to have the truth as an experience instead of what we're told, you're like, well, let me see if this is real. You know what I mean? You find, oh, that is real. And the next thing, oh, that is real, and so on down the steps. Then eventually, you think you come out the other side, you keep thinking, and just deeper and deeper. But once you make it, you could look backwards at it and be like, "Oh, that I completed that process." And then you're like, "Wait a second, this isn't cool at all because wait, I'm the first one that done it, but that means I'm the only one. That means they need all this, they need, you know, you just look back and like, oh man, you need to do all these things to get out of the matrix. So specifically, having looked back, I'm like, oh, what are what is the systems? Because I'm trained as an accountant, MBA, master's in accounting, undergraduate business finance, and experience in business. So I'm like, what are the systems they have us in? Money, this whole money thing. I'm like, okay, there is a God, and we're gonna get saved. Oh, okay, that's helpful. And when is the only time he got pissed off and flipped the money tables? That's okay. So let's try that. You know, how we flip the tables on this whole money thing upon them. And so that's kind of the baseline because you work up the chakras and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You can't, trying to keep us homeless and not eating and so on like that. So we have a more difficult time finding out the truth. It's hard. It's not easy. It's so hard. Um, but let's be specific. So they want control of us with these systems. Okay, that's what they want. Control of us. So what do we try and do? Break that control. That's it. Okay, so you say you control me. I say no. That's it, right? You say you're in charge of me, I say no. That's a point of contention right there, isn't it? So, if you could find a way to snap that and make it true, well then, uh, that's all that really matters, right? So, that's why I was like, "How do they have us?" You see what I'm saying? Because if you can figure out how they have us, then you apparently, because they're using those methods to enslave us, apparently, you know, those are the things that are hidden they're not telling us about. So if you can figure that out, you can, well, use those methods yourself, right? To get yourself extricated from this situation. So that's why it becomes so important to see how they have us exactly. And accounts are all about systems. How if somebody pays money, how does the money not get lost and how does it get into the bank account? Handling systems so money isn't stolen and but also handling systems so people that are honest are just doing the system and they're seen as honest because they're not nothing goes missing or anything like that. Having a system where it's just like checks and balances and so on like that. That's what it's not just about money. It's like how many fish are there? You know, did you get 40? I got 30. Counting. It's about counting and seeing what the rules of counting are. What is what? How do you count? You know, what's the agreed upon methods that we're all going to do that how we're going to count? Okay, and then let's count and see if everything's tallies up here. That's that's what an accountant does, right? Let's see what's actually going on. There seems to be some dispute as always. Let's just add up the stuff and see what's going on. And around here, their system, nothing adds up, right? Nothing makes any sense. They tell us one thing and everything else is going on, not what they say. So how do they have us? Where's the nub? You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you think about, to use an example, if you think about acupuncture, right? Is a great acupuncturist one is like, oh, dude, I know all the treatments. Let's get you boom, boom, boom. Let's keep coming back. We're gonna get you out of this, you know. Or is it this, you know? Let me. You know what? You need one needle right there. Hold on a second. Boom. You know what I mean? Like that's the greatest acupuncture. I'm not saying that's the process of acupuncture, but you see what I'm saying as an example. Taking the right action is the thing that hits the dominoes that makes the rest of them fall. So choosing that right action is important. So that's when I was like, how do they have us? And I began studying estates and trusts and, all I was getting close to the information. So that's where they were always on me, telling me every lie. I could tell you all of these characters that I've interacted with and so on online and just face to face. It's just like, I just count so many, like, look over here, look over there, don't look there, and finally I was looking at estates and trusts. I'm like, and I'll study them, and I was like, well, if I were to start a trust, how would I go about, and then I looked at, like names and using the word trust, and I was like, man, every trust says trust at the end, and then I found the rules for each Secretary of State, there's rules for naming businesses if you're going to register with them, right? And so the words bank and trust have super special rules. Okay, like you can't use the word bank or trust unless it's a bank or trust because that's just their rules. And it's their financial system, and they make the rules. And so that means bank and trust are the two things that run this place if there are special rules for 'em. So and there are. So and then I was studying it, and then I was like, one day I looked at the dollar bill and I was like, "Wait a minute, if you know, the USA has credit," you know what I mean? And if you create a trust yourself, it's not registered with the Secretary of State. And to get credit, I went through the trial to get credit with the trust, I mean, I guess that came later, but I'm like, I just saw this trust and, trust, special rule. I was like, "Oh, we trust who?" That's and then I was like, "They're talking about God, so they know what's up." But I mean, that name of God is not Jesus Christ, so it's like, who's we? And really, it's not, everything's the name of the devil that isn't the name of God, basically. I mean, basically. You can always look at it that way. But it's really about the time, and I reveal all this information over there on JesusChristTrust.net, this information, but you know, they follow this timeline. So, they just are under orders and they're under this trust. And they have to do what they're told to do. They're like under orders and they follow it. I test them. They never change script. Um, sorry, sorry. They never change script. They don't ever. No matter how much I tell them or interact with them or get along with them or are friends with them anything. It just they don't ever switch. Never, never, never. There's some people that are seeking God and the truth and may stumble and stuff like that. They're not doing that. Okay, they may go forwards and backwards and stuff like that. That's what you do on the path. Some forwards, some backwards, because you're like you poke your head through the firmament, you're like ah, you know. So Mayor Baba calls it mischievous chicken, one that gets out from under the mother's wings, and the mother's like, "Hey, get back here!" And you're like, "Oh my god, look up there!" Boom, back under the chicken's wings, right? And it's kind of a funny metaphor because we find ourselves inside an egg, a womb, And there's this chicken example, which is really, really funny. And the chicken that his name was, the knowledge, right? Satan, Satan. You're the first one that knows what's up. You won't follow along, you know? And so you get out from under the wings and you're like, this is no good. This isn't working, But the one who knows gets out there from under the wings. It's like I don't want to be under the wings of a chicken anymore. Like, can I get out of the egg, the matrix, the dome, the womb, this place we find ourselves in where we're uh, involving our consciousness after evolving through all the forms. Consciousness is never lost. You go to sleep at night, you wake up, you have the same consciousness. You, you come and live somewhere, and here you are. You're still you. Consciousness is not lost through the forms. You're building it, who you are. Uh, Marvin, all right, Marvin, look, you made it. Hey, Marvin, look, I'm going through the Matrix stuff, okay? But if you had anything on your mind or whatever, you're in here. Anybody has a question, thoughts, or whatever, please just we'll switch to that because I'm here to help you all. Okay. All right. So finally, you got We Trust, right? And that's their paperwork method of control. I mean, the system flows in a structure. You know what I mean? A system, an accounting system, any system has a structure to it. Once you can see the strict structure, you can see, oh, this is how I could interact with it in a more favorable manner, you know? And so it's like, oh, let me see. Uh, what's going on? Um, what is the matrix? How do I get it? So Inga We Trust has it as its corporate financial structure, you see? And once you can see how they set up the paperwork, then you can go, "Oh, what are you up to?" You know what I mean? Because everything has to flow from that paperwork. That gives them a structure they have to work within. And then you're like, "Okay, that's the structure you're working within." Okay. So that means, right, because being a we trust is at this level, it's every other entity's sub-organization of that, right? Okay, so that means what? You can write your own trust. Glad to hear it because I don't know who we is, but that's my God. And so you can name your God, right? Because everyone knows, everyone's brought up, you can sell your soul to the devil. It just every song on the radio. I sold my soul to the devil, and now, number one in the pop chart. They just pretty much sing it in every single song, a little more cutesy, but they all sing it. Okay. So everyone knows that. The issue is they don't know what's already happened. You see what I'm saying? That no one knows what's happened already. And how? What's the back then, oh, you can sign yourself to that. Oh, well, how about I unsign this? Because I don't remember signing. You know what I mean? So that's, oh, clever to get with parents to sign in a child, one of this birth certificate. Ooh, okay. Clever. Meaning, so come 18, I'm adult, let me sign out of that sucker. And that's what you see. That's why I focus on you want to exit the matrix. That's your structure. you know, exit the structure. You see what I'm saying? As soon as oh, this entity, whatever is riding in this body, it's not even a structure anymore. And this body that it has to ride in, not even a structure anymore. No, no, no. Oh, that person game, straw man, right? Oh, that's me. No, a corporation is enough. So, this is their that's why when you could switch from their structure, right? Oh, okay. Monitor the ego. We trust. I have my own trust. So you could, because you go, oh, I sign a trust. Here's the bank. You open it up. Any money is in there. You're just trustees. It's irrevocable. So what does that mean? I give everything back to God. I don't want anything here, right? Get me out of here. Here's the trade. Here's everything, and get me out. That's the deal. You see, that's the deal. And this solves that. Gets you out of the jurisdiction of the Yahweh trust. No longer in that jurisdiction. You're, you know, not, but you're trusted to follow what the two rules of Jesus. There are only two commandments. There are only two laws. There's no. Here's the code. No, 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 no. Uh-uh. Love God. You know, treat your brothers and sisters how you want to be treated, right? If you're acting a fool out there, you hope one of your brothers and sisters, hey, stupid, what are you up to? Oh, what are you do? What are you working for the ego we trust? Yeah, here's the truth. If you keep doing it, karma's on you. You got to tell them. Oh, what are you foreclosing on the house, sheriff? Yeah. Oh, well, you're working for the devil, and I'm just going to say a prayer. You're now you know, and you're burning in 10 years. What? I'm letting you know. Or you could drive away. Just you gotta let people know, hey, here's your option. Here's the truth. But you gotta do you first, a you last, a you middle, a always you. Why groups are a hoax? There's no me and you. There's no we. That isn't it. Karma is based on your individual action. You see what I'm saying? You sign the trust yourself. Oh my God, you figured it out. You went through the course, went to the bank. Here's everything. God, I'll just run the money as best I can, keep a roof over my head, do what I can. But I give everything up, right? Out of poverty. What? I have nothing. You see? Well, and what happened then? You have nothing, right? Own nothing, control everything. Oh, what is it? Secret to success is own nothing, control everything. So what? You own nothing now. And that means your person, the straw man, that corporate entity, doesn't have anything, right? It's if you if you don't have anything, right, you can't get anything. So the person has no bank account, no revenue, no nothing, zero, all zero. Everything's in the trust. You see, everything's in trust. So you give up everything. Jurisdiction is over here, assets over here, everything I'm doing over here in the trust person. What does that get? Nothing. So wait a minute. The person, strong man, that thing, qualifies for all this free government money. You know what I'm saying? Like, thanks for the EBT. That's almost $300 a month. Free school, free phone, you know, on and on with the things the government gives away. Because now that person has nothing. So it qualifies for pretty much everything they got. You see, because it doesn't have anything. And you have exited the control of your mind thinking that person, that corporate fiction, is you. It's not you. Well, it's got your name. Not really. It has an all capital letter name that somebody said was my name. Is that actually my name? Well, I'm not that tied to it. If you think you're controlling me with that name, well, I'm the thing that maybe has a name and maybe doesn't, or whatever. Your name doesn't control me. You see that, but that's the name of that person. And I'm the authorized, or you're the author. Authorized means you're the author. You write, or you decide. You write. You're the authorized representative of that person. It's not you. Well, you're the author. Hell, I'll represent that thing. Hey, send me the money. Send me that free phone deal. Send me all the deals we got. keep them rolling in because all the free stuff proves that your person, you, they want to, oh, that's you. Oh, okay. Well, I have nothing. You know, oh, you like your pronouns, me, my, all that stuff. Like, I don't have anything. I am not going to give you anything. You are going to give me money. You see? Okay, let's use pronouns because that's what you want to think I am as a pronoun and that's straw man. So whatever, it doesn't have any power over me. So I'll just say it now because give me the money, right? They've taken because what's the control? What's the theory they have of control? This is the theory of government. This is the theory of government and control, right? Here's the theory. Oh, we have a land mass. And isn't it great to choose the best managers so that what? The individuals who live on the landmass can get a way better deal, right? Because all the resources and everything is getting managed so well, right? Now, how do you tell if things are getting managed well, right? You look at the accounting and more money than you spent came in, right? Or else you did bad. So, this government is literally $33 trillion in debt to whom, right? They sold all the resources to manage. They gave them all away. All the oil goes to Exxon. My buddy's over there. Yeah. Oh, and he's giving me a cut. Here you go. All the land, we'll give that to the banks and now charge everybody a mortgage. Great. That's cool, right? Here you go. They gave it all away to themselves, who are now our slave owners. You see what I'm saying? No, you got to pay me for this house. Why? You got it for free. You got everything for free. In fact, the story is we gave it to you for free. That's the story. So what? I gotta pay you for it. What? Now you misunderstand. We have you managing the resources so that what? Not so you send all your children to college for free, and you got plenty of money. You got the giant houses on the ocean. That's what all your Congress stuff reads. Everybody who works for you, you get all the money, all the resources, everything. That's not what a government is. That's not even your story. Your story is you're supposed to manage, and we're supposed to get the resources because you're managing our resources. Is that what's going on? Does anyone see a whit of that at all? No, no one. That's a complete lie. You fed this lie. Oh, and then you could choose how election how. How's that happening? Like, right? Oh, let's say I'm driving in my car. I got some weed in my car. Am I smoking? Am I not? Right? You pulled over. Oh, right. I saw this thing when I went into the dispensary today, and it was up on a. They have an LOL there, Lord of Light. They got a flat screen, right? And it's a big one, and it says, "No one should be in jail for cannabis." And I said, "Hey," and then lobby's packed. Everybody's there. Got to pay to get this. There. I say, "Wait a minute. Listen, everyone in the government should be in jail for cannabis. Every one of them. We should top up heads every night at 6 p.m. on the news. I'm gonna watch it for the first time. Watch the news. No, they should all be in jail. Everyone, everyone in government, that's the ones who should be in jail. Just them, not the other people. Anyone in jail who's not them is just having a negative, reaction to being a slave. Oh, you got out of line, slave. You're in jail. Who's in jail? Dudes who are in jail. What? Child support. They make it no way to make a living because there's no jobs or anything. Like, you only sell your soul, and that's how you get money, and that's everything else is fake. So you're trying to make money for family, and then the government's put you in a cage because you can't make money for your family due to what they're doing to your family. You know, So you have to see this system because there are ways we could take advantage of them. This predicament. So what do we need? We need more time and money just to start with, right? Just to like ease off the pedal a minute and be like, I need a roof over my head, food, and I get them to pay for that and stuff. So I don't have to be out there just working like a slave. Come on, what they got us doing up in here is it's ridiculous and what they do. What I mean, how is everyone affording a house? How is that possible? They have to sell their soul. There's no how many people are paying this? Not many. Not many people are. They just sell their soul, they gotta have it, and that's that, you know? So, we have to accept that what they're doing, and then we have to go, "Oh, okay, what can I do over here," you see, "to improve my situation so I can process this truth, change my actions, and not have to, eat bark and water and ask for God not to be hungry," you know what I'm saying? Like, how do I get enough to eat and get the basics happening up in here so that I can see, you know, okay, how do I topple this whole thing, right? Because, that's what slaves do. You made me a slave, so guess what happens when you have, you know, billions of slaves? Eventually revolt. Come on, no thanks on your ideas of being a slave. Bad. Who does that make me? I'm the worst. The worst slave. The worst. I'm the worst. That's who wins the game. Rather be dead than a slave. Yeah, whip me as many freaking times, tell me a million times. I do not care. Right? Still rather be dead than your slave. I don't care. Just do whatever you think. I don't care. Not gonna do it. Don't care. Whatever it is, it's better than being your slave, right? Yeah, that is better. So we figured it out. So it's like, okay, that's why I tell people I really can't help you until you open up trust because you can't, your shop so like it has a switch jurisdiction, has a switched over, and your assets are at stake, nothing's safe, your children are safe, all that stuff. Get everything safe, everything's cool. They can't mess with you anymore. Can't mess with your money. Can't mess with the basics. Foundation of Maslow's hierarchy in place, right? Okay. And now you can work through the things which are more, coming up the chakras, like, you know, you know, we get to the heart. I mean, you're so evil. You have to process like, what are these creatures that are enslaving me? How are they doing it? What are they doing? You have to work through that. You have to come out the other side and be like, yeah, you're not going to do that. No. The answer is no forever. You see? And then you get to a certain spot and you realize, okay, this system pushed me, just like an egg, makes it so, oh, a chicken can grow inside of it, but at some point it can't grow anymore in there, right? It has to come out. That's and that's our only goal is to get out of this predicament, not to do particular actions so unnecessarily. We have to even our karmic slate, karmic scales. We have to do that for each individual. But the first thing we have to do is get off this money thing. Okay, God brings whatever God brings. I'll do my best. But everything goes into trust. You see, great. Now you don't have control of the funds, the money. I can start accessing this other money through my person. Great. Let me apply for all this free government, everything. Great money's coming in and money's not going out. And then I save all the time on never having to fill out IRS forms again. Never have to do that ever again. You know, just no more forms. So you get all that mental capacity back and concern and all just that melts away, that drifts away. So don't have to use your entities on the things about what you get. Don't have to hide money here and move it there, and that's over. They understand this and don't touch your money in the trust. This is real. And so this is where you get back to a lot of time and energy and the way they're always trying to frazzle our nerves or make us fearful and all that nonsense day and night, that begins to evaporate because their control is evaporated. The more truth you get, the more they're, because first thing is, okay, you know, that bottom line of Maslow's hierarchy, that's the physical, right? Okay, the money's safe. This is how much more money comes in, like that. Okay, good. So baseline, out of your trust, you no jurisdiction over the soul, not over the money, not over anything. First thing. That's why I focus on that first thing. So then how does that play out? Well, it's still that structure works through the whole your whole process. Because now you got okay, buddies over here, whatever, you do whatever. It's like, what do I do? Well, you better help people, whatever you're good at, whatever, you know what gifts God gave you, you try and help people. That's why, treat your brothers and sisters how you want to be treated. If someone's helping you, you're like, okay, well, do your best. And if I'm trying to help somebody, I do my best. That's all you expect. You don't expect uh, necessarily an outcome, you know? You just expect somebody's gonna do their best, and then, oh, they may bump into something, maybe you have to be a part of overcoming that hurdle by helping mentally or whatever. That's a true see the way the world is, you see? So, that's why I focus on this trust, the money and stuff, and then it flows out to the rest, right? Once you, because 'cause you're like, once, you turn off the LOL, right, the Lord of Light box, the flat screen, and you're like, let me see the truth through a computer or my phone. Let me just see if anyone knows the truth instead of them shooting it at you. You're like, let me see what's in that thing. And you find that they're controlling this from this invisible realm that, the physical doesn't match the story. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't match it. They say, "Oh, I mean, in every way, shape, or form, everything, nothing matters, right? Let's go through the money. Oh, you have to do this, and then you apply for a mortgage, and then you pay. Well, there's no way, if those are the qualifications for a mortgage, who in America is affording all these super expensive houses? Like, 1 plus 1 equals 2, but you're saying 1 plus 1 equals 4 billion. It's like, that's not true. You give everyone the free houses and free utilities and free whatever, and they just do stuff, right? And they're it's like because you're seeing it, oh, this is you're doing what you're doing, so you think you're seeing somebody else, and they're like, oh, they're probably doing what I'm doing too, or something similar, but they're not. It's like when you're Disney, it's like, oh well, there goes a cat character thing. That's not you, obviously, right? They're doing something different. But you don't see them like that out there because they're in this human body and so but you are in Disney World and all those creatures out there, almost every single one of them around you, they know what's up, they know who you are, and all this stuff. They're running a script around you all the time, like the Truman Show, all of them. You don't think so, huh? You're wrong. You're wrong because you haven't tested it, right? Like, for more than a year now, there's just one little street near the beach, which is kinda busy, coming from Illuminati Row to the drawbridge and stuff. It's a small road, but it has a lot of traffic. I never look both ways, I would just go across it. Same spot, same thing every time. And so, maybe I average crossing that particular little street, like, I don't know, 8 times a week, literally, that many times. Never look, never look. One time and right before I go, just a million, giant landscaping trucks, full trailers, like 2 of them last time I was had like, "Whoa, whoa," we just cleaned the Illuminati's castle right before I walked, and nothing, and if someone is coming, they'll stop or what? I'll die, and yay, get out of the matrix, that's the way I look at it. Hooray. And so they couldn't hit me, no way. You can self-inflict in here, obviously, you can, but, like, can you also stop it? You know what I mean? Can you pause your area of the game? Oh, yes, it can be paused. So, I mean, you gotta be out there, what is the invisible structure that you say is all true, it isn't. So what is actually going on? So you start to mess with the invisible systems out there of power and control and see, wait a second, I changed affiliation from being a we trust. It seems like, now getting some, not just rolling barely down the stream of like, wait a second, maybe I don't want to go, you know, down the river to hell, maybe I want to turn over here instead, and then that's what the ore in the water is truth, because only truth changes actions, right? Which, because if you don't know, why would you don't change your actions? So, and only if you're given a difficulty to overcome do you need to change your actions, right? That no difficulty you have to change your actions. So God is the one that gives you the difficulty, though you can overcome it. And that's what we need to do: change jurisdiction and do more of seeing that. Oh, wait a minute, we're the ones with power here, not them. They say they're the power ones, but the more you start to see they're not actually in control, you see what control you have. You see, so you they gave up control, but they really did. And so, how? What are the rules? What are the methods you can control the situation of what's going on? That's really actually a matrix where you're like, you raise your hand and you see the police want to murder you. You can't raise your gun. They can't. They're trying and they can't. The bullets stop, just like in the Matrix. It's absolutely 100% true. At least they saying. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's a fake reality, right? That's why they don't come as house because Jesus never had a home here. He said, "Down to the same place. I'm here to visit. I'll come to your place. I don't want a place here. So I want it." You know, Illuminati Road. That's my nickname for it. It's sort of like Oprah's got a house and what's his name? Stephen King, blah blah, right? The blah blahs. The stream shifters who were never there, except for when he's swimming on the beach. I call it Illuminati. It's between where I live and the beach I go to, and it's just the drive there. We don't have beach access right where I am, so I got to drive down Illuminati Road if I go the slow way. It's like oh, you sellouts, and they're never even there. You don't understand why they don't give us a house, right? It's a big, very no. No, but see, we gotta do it. But you know what I mean? Is Mickey Mouse is Rat World? That's what I figured out. Is Rat World really sick? Well, it is. It's run by Anthony Rat. You know, it's kind of sick. Uh, but the rat can be beat in the maze here. You see, you would have beat the rat in the maze, and you're the rat in the maze. So you got to get to the end and win. But you have to see what these things are on your way, so they don't take up your time and consciousness and abilities and creativity, and because they can read your mind. See what I'm saying? They can literally walk right up to you and tell you exactly what you want to hear. You know what I mean? Let's say everyone has something. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get along with my family or my father or my mother or my sister or my brother or this experience happened, this death, it was so meaningful. They read your mind. They know what your triggers are. They know what your baseline is. They know. They can tell you it would be this way or that way until they can't. You see the same? You start taking the name of God that you're under that jurisdiction and they give you your mind. And so then it's like, they have a reaction because that's their first sense. Their sixth sense is their first sense. It's like our eyes are our first sense. And so if you were talking to something and, oh, you're blind, would you have a reaction? Hey, I just went blind. Yeah. They can't say, hey, I can't hear what's in your head. Hey, stop saying the name of God. No, you see, they have limitations. And it's up to us to figure out the limitations and come out from under it. But it's always within the structure of the change and the trust. The structure's not going to change. How we get out of the structure because you're like, using that structure, I can use the same structure. That's how we'll do it. That's fine. That's easy. That's simple. Hey guys, just catching up on this. Kelly was typing. Uh, this, this is it's nice that the spiritual game we have to play goes along with financial because everything is integrated. You see, there's not something that's not integrated, and you know, sort of all is one thing, which you find out the truth. That's where they're trying to say this, that, and look over there, look over there. I look at what you're doing. And why did I copy it? But not with the whole devil thing. Okay. You actually went for that. Not me. Sorry, what it's so funny. I look for like, you know, Samson and anyone probably. I'm just saying, do this work. And yet, I'm not you. Uh, so, it goes along with the spiritual, like, for example, the Bible thing, Acts 5, you're supposed to give up everything to God, which is like, that's the hard part of the book. Like, wait, I'm going to give everything, because of that it says give everything to the apostles so they'll hand it out of free. But this is, I put it in a trust, but I'll be trustee, but it accomplishes the same thing. Equality. And the outcome for the people that didn't do that is the death. So, this is a way to solve this. Okay. So it solves it according to Bible. It also solves it according to finances because this is how they're operating their finances. And so you got we trust the whole structure, slavery and everything. So it's fine in the system. So but it matches up with everything. And it's also makes your life simpler and easier. I talk about it, uh, the the ripple effects of everything, but the actual opening of a trust is super simple, right? I mean, it's the thing's all figured out. You sign it, get it notarized into the bank. That's it. It's super simple. It's a much simpler way to live your life in every single aspect. And so that's why I focus on that. You see, because it simplifies everyone's life, makes less money going out, more money coming in. That's what the account's supposed to do. Less money going out, more money coming in, right? And nobody can touch that money. That's what an accountant's supposed to do. And that's what I done. But also in the balance, right? Guess what? Save your soul too. If you do it, you see to say, I can't take the actions. I can't, process the truth and act for you. I can give you the truth. I can give you the structure to get out of the matrix. I can say, this is how you do it. This is how I done it. And you can do it. God doesn't expect anything but your best. But if you know, oh, well, I think I'm just going to do this thing. Maybe I shouldn't do. You shouldn't do it then. I think I'm just, Jack's work is really great. I'm just going to steal it and sell it as mine. Okay, well, it doesn't matter if you sign the trust. You're evil. It's irrevocable. You have to follow God's laws. You break the laws. Well, stealing from your brother. Oop, right? You broke the trust. And so you broke the trust with God. So it's not there anymore. It's gone. You can self-inflict. You can break your trust with God. You can do it by your actions. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's it. You should live a simple, careful life. You should really plan out what you're doing and think about it and try as you go not to, you know, harm anyone in the process. But if you find yourself engaged with someone, give them the truth, and that can help them. Maybe not right in this second, but a seed planted. But don't waste your time on people because, yeah, almost everyone around us, they're not ready. But if someone, oh, if you feel like you pour a little water or a little fertilizer, right? A little manure on that plant of freedom and make it grow, you should help you. I'll try to. But that's what this is about. This is Liberty Aid Academy of Financial and Spiritual Technology, right? Unknown, cutting edge technology. That's what this organization does. I move most of the spiritual stuff over to Jesus Christ Trust Fund. Net, a church I started just because, they shut down the school if I go too much into that. So if you want to add stuff, go over there. Uh, happy to help. But anyway, thank you for being here. Let's see how we're doing on time. Good. Okay. Uh, I wanted to start with this, but I have this. Everyone who's donated to that church that I just brought up, listen, thank you very much. And some people, I wept when I mean, this one family is really supporting my work. I've never been supported like this, not ever. And uh, it really makes me want to continue. When somebody has resources and then, they give them to a church that's trying to bring the word of God, the truth about God to people. It's never happened with me before, so I just want to say thank you very much to, the Poe family. I'm really, and at the same time, those like the smartest humans I've ever spoken to in my life. I was just, you know, prayers answered in two ways. To be able to talk to someone so intelligent and ask support. It hasn't happened to me before, so I just try to process it and, immediately went to pray for God to you because thank you. Seriously. I just want to keep saying that on whatever video or platform I'm on because it has real meaning to me and that allows me to do this work and help people. Um, Sometimes it's really down to the last pennies around here. It really is. And I quit, so no way. Ever. Until, you know, heal and say his name, give up your control, government, give it all up. That's the only way. If you're not in control, you're supposed to be working for the people. Oh, we get, you know, who's the most awesome woman that has the most best family, right? Make her ahead, make her everything. Like, come on, how's that hard? God. It's just, who has the coolest children that has the best? Would you mind running the country for a bit? You have some other ladies to help you, you know? That would be actually what would be going on, right? You know? But no. So, if you want more where this is going, ultimately get over to the church and see all that information. But in the meantime, this is the day to day, right? Your buddy's safe. This works for any business. No business for business anymore, right? This gets you a payment gateway, bank account, all that you need. And with this trust, you don't pay the IRS taxes because you have reporting 501c3 status, right? You don't pay, and you don't fill out forms to the IRS. See, this is a structural solution, okay? Structural, structural solution. Doesn't they're well, what if I do this? I sell my truck, but I'll pay less for it. And no, 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 no. See, there are no triggering rules that are like, oh, now you owe taxes. Nope. As long as money goes in and out of the trust bank account, guess what? No paying taxes, no reporting. That's it. Okay? That's it. It's so simple, isn't it? It's so simple. Why? Because that's what they're doing. Their their life is very simple and easy. They're slavers. They run this whole thing. So they chosen the easy way. It's a loophole, right? It's an accounting loophole they made for themselves to get through. Accountants are supposed to know about the loophole. I'm the only one that found it. But everyone can walk right through this loophole. Everyone. Because all of them do it. So we can do it too. It's really super simple in the end. And it allows you to, step back, gather the information that I put out, and then go, okay, wow. Let's sort out some of this financial stuff. Let's get everything safe, and now let's have a reaction that's appropriate to what's going on, right? What is that? And then we could, back and forth that a little bit. And which has been great with the school, the classroom, the private forum we have. People in there, this question, that question. I'm the only moderator, right? Anybody has any thoughts, questions, and something in there, and off we go. I'm having a technical issue over at the church forum, so I am not answering for a minute, but it's because they're blocking me out of there. I got my tech on trying to get back in there. Crazy what they do. It's crazy what they do. And if I could show you the page, it was like, what if the 33 do this like 10 block? It's like, oh, it's so annoying. Anyway, so exiting the matrix and why I chose this trust as a vehicle to do this, and how it works. You see, that's and why this works to exit the matrix. I hope I went through all of that. Generally tied it into the financial stuff and shows how it makes our life much easier. Also, right now, we're making it so we really we get hey, we were doing helicopter money, everybody gets money, PPP, IDL, blah, 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 blah. Everybody got the cashola, what. Now it's the opposite, right? So we made a discount on you get all of our courses in one, and we made a discount to 14.25 for it. And then if you want to pay us in Zelle, Cash App, or Shop Pay, 30% off, 9.97 for everything. Because what? Your family, right? Your family needs this, and they're making your life hard, you know? And we have to exist, so we need some funds, we need to help you through this process, we need to be here for you, but, I why were we able to give you that discount? Because I took my time out of it. My consult's no longer in the bundle package, I took it out. I took it out because the forum's been working great. People can still get a consult from me. They can still go to the, schedule a consult if they need a half hour of my time, whatever. It's extra, but what we're seeing is, everybody gets their questions answered in the forum and stuff. So, uh, our goal is to make this more accessible for people. So that's now an add-on my time. So, that allows me to have time and energy to focus on this weekly and help out in the forum and do what I need to do over at the church and everything too. So it's a win for everyone, makes it more affordable, but you still get me at the forum. You still get me. You put up pictures, links, photos, questions, everything. You still get me as a student. So anyway, that's what's going on. We're always working on the courses and revamping them and trying to get a better experience for everyone. So if you have anything in that regard, always let us know. Yeah, happy to help, Kelly. Thank you. But I think that's where we covered everything on the basis of exiting the matrix and why this is the methodology that holds the framework for you to actually exit the matrix. Uh, so anyway, thanks for the support, everyone. We're here to support you. Become a student, and we support you. You're moving forward, your success. Everyone's successful doing this. So jump in, become one of the few like Neos up in here, right? You can do this. Everyone who is trying to do this, young or old, I'm not good at computers. Everyone's been able to do this. Okay, we've been doing this a long time. We can help you through this. All right. Everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the great feedback. Everyone, have a wonderful week. I'll be here next week. Hope to see you here. Okay. Thank you for the support. All right, everyone. Really, really appreciate it. Okay.